Hello guys, and once again we're here with another episode of my competitive Battlefield 3 series. And I think this one will probably be the last one, unless someone asks me for some specific information. It has been a while since the last one, and I do apologise for that. It's been a busy few weeks, finishing my only Battlefield video, Armoured Kill coming out, etc, etc. And if you haven't seen the first couple of videos in the series, then go check them out. Links will be in the description. But let's get down to it. Let's get down to the bread and butter of this episode, and that is positioning. Now, positioning may sound pretty generic, and to a certain extent it is, really, but I clearly can't tell you exactly where to play at any given time because Battlefield is, it's forever changing. It's a very changeable game. But what I can do is try and give you some tips and general positioning advice that you can then adapt for any particular situation. Now, one simple thing to always remember is if that you can see an enemy, the chances are in most circumstances, not all, then they can see you too. And over the course, really, the goal of this video will be to always limit the amount that your body, or of your body, that the enemy can see at any given time. Now in Battlefield 3 there's a term for this, and we call it head glitching. It's essentially where a player is hidden behind an object and you can only really see the tip of their head. However, on their screen, they can clearly shoot over this object. It's a bug within the actual game engine, or I would call it a bug personally, essentially where the third-person player's view is not the same as their first-person view. So on your screen, it might look like their gun is sticking into a wall. However, on their screen, their crosshair's well above the wall, so they can still shoot over it. Now, let's take this example here. Right now, we're on the bridge near A. On Grand Bazaar, the example we've used for all these videos. And as you can see here, there is an enemy, you should be able to see him just on the bridge ahead of us. Now all I can see of this guy is his head. But if we switch views quickly, you can see that in the different circumstance, I can see their entire body. Now he's comfortable knowing he is covered from the neck down, and in this situation he would have a clear advantage. But more importantly, if I know where these spots are and I know this guy is likely to play there, I can be prepared for it next time. Now, this situation here is very, very difficult to combat. I can see the tip of his head, and I've got very little to aim at. Not only that, but it's compounded by the fact that even though on this bridge, for instance, the sides of the bridge are easily destroyed, by the time my bullets have penetrated that metal and actually hit him, I'm already dead. If he's a good player, I'm already gone. Now, head glitching is a common feature in Battlefield 3 just because of the way the engine is set up. And unfortunately, it's just something that has to be dealt with. So knowing these points is really, half the problem, and knowing where they're going to be. Now, here is another spot on Kitchen Alley behind the block, from the defender's point of view, first of all. Now, when I come around the corner, just look at how little I can actually see of his head. But he has a perfect view, and this spot is particularly used a crazy amount in competitive play, just because of how useful it is and how much of a good spot it is and how much of an advantage the defending player get. And then if we move a little bit further back, there's just a little bit more of a spot behind the walls, resulting in pretty much the same effect. Now, the third one I'm going to show you is probably one of the most popular next to the Kitchen Alley one, and that's playing the block watching Banana. There's two different places you can play this block from, as you can see here in the video. There is the standing up position or this crouched looking through the gap. Both serve their purpose. The standing up one is more mobile. Obviously, you can get out of the way and you've got a bit more maneuverability. This is it's a good spot and it's a tough spot. It's a great spot for watching Banana, but when people know that you're there, it can be problematic, especially if they're coming up alley at the same time. But it's a great spot for somebody with good reactions and a great aim. Now, these are just some of the spots on Bazaar alone, but you can start to see just how effective these spots become when playing competitive matches. And knowing where they are can not only help you defend, but will also make you a better attacking player as well, because you're more likely to know where these good players are actually going to be. So let's move on to something else now. Let's move on to peeking. Peeking is a pretty simple term, really, and it's not just about running round corners like some blithering idiot, but instead taking your time to check each corner and make sure there's no enemy waiting for you. I'm going to show you an example now. I'm running up banana like the cool dude that I am, but I don't bother to check the corners. I just run around and blam, that guy on platform just ripped my face off and laughed at my epic misfortune. Probably going to come in and teabag me, etc, etc. If, however, I would have taken some time and peeked the corners slowly, checking the places I know people are going to be, I can pick him off before advancing and helping my team out by not losing a silly ticket. Peeking is not some complicated science. It's a really simple thing, but it's sometimes something that people do forget. Now, don't get killed by running around aimlessly. Start checking those corners and you will die less, and you'll help your team out a lot more as well. Now, I think that pretty much covers the basics that I've gone over in the past couple of videos, in the past couple of months. I hope that in some shape or form I've helped you guys, even if it's just slightly. So thanks for tuning in, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.